Hello everyone, I'm Sirak this side. Welcome to our video and today I'm going to talk about dosage compensation. Why is dosage compensation necessary and the various strategies and molecular mechanisms behind dosage compensation. Dosage compensation is defined as a process used by organisms to equalize the expression of their genes known as dosage between the sexes of a species. It is found in organisms where the sex determination is based on the differences at the cytogenetic level, like in humans, where sex is determined by having two X chromosomes in a female or having one X and a one Y chromosome in a male, hence creating a difference at dosage at the chromosomal level. Dosage compensation is usually observed diversely from a range of simple to complex animals. So, we have discussed what is dosage compensation. But we need to ask, why do organisms need to compensate for the gene dosages? So, most species where the sex is determined due to the differences at the chromosomal level, it leads to a difference in dosage of genes on that chromosomes. For example, like in humans or in Drosophila or in C. elegans, where one of the sex carries a single chromosome and the other sex carries the double chromosome, like a single X chromosome and two X chromosomes in two different sexes. So there is a difference in the amount of protein and RNA produced by these chromosomes. So this difference in gene dosage, if not compensated, can lead to lethality in one of the sexes. This is because the dosage levels of genes relative to each other determines the normal development of the organisms. A change in organism gene dosage can lead to abnormal development and further to lethality. This creates a instant need for the organism to compensate for the gene dosage in different sexes starting from the early developmental period. As we have discussed the necessity for dosage compensation, it comes of no surprise that various organisms have evolved different strategies for dosage compensation independently in the course of evolution. Here we look at the three most commonly found strategies in environment that are of C. elegans, Drosophila and mammals. In C. elegans, the hermaphrodite sex carries two X chromosomes and the males carry one X chromosome. The hermaphrodite sex represses the expression of both the X chromosomes by twofold, resulting in equivalent dosage to the one X chromosome in the males. Coming to Drosophila, the male flies carry one X and one Y chromosome, whereas the female flies carry two X chromosomes. In the Drosophila, the expression of the single X in males is increased by twofold to equate it to the two X chromosomes in female flies. Coming to our last strategy, that is in mammals, it is similar to Drosophila, where males carry one X and one Y chromosome, and whereas the female carries two X chromosomes. But here the difference is that one of the two X chromosomes in females go on to globally inactivate one of their chromosome known as X chromosome inactivation, hence equating the dosage to the single X chromosome in males. Here we have looked briefly into these strategies. Now we will discuss in detail how C. elegans carries out its dosage compensation in detail. The mechanism of sex determination in the soil-dwelling nematode C. elegans relies on the ratio of X chromosomes to the set of autosomes, that is the X to A ratio. Diploid animals with two X chromosomes, hence a X to A ratio of 1, develop as hermaphrodites, whereas those organisms with one X chromosome, that is the X to A ratio of 0.5, develop as males. As we have discussed earlier, the dosage compensation in double X hermaphrodites takes place by repressing the expression of the two X chromosomes by twofold. This is the case in the somatic cells of hermaphrodites. When we move on to the germline cells, very interestingly we see the males and the hermaphrodites globally repress their single and double X chromosomes respectively in all their germ cells. It becomes more clear in this picture shown, where the red germline tissues in the adult C. elegans represents complete inactivation of single X in males and the two X's in the hermaphrodites. Now we will move on to the next slide and try to understand the mechanisms by which this precise dosage compensation is achieved. The mechanism of dosage compensation in C. elegans. The X to A ratio between the sexes forms the initial basis which guide the molecular pathways involved in sex determination as well as dosage compensation during the early development. As you can see in the figure, there are XSE, the X sequence elements, and the ASE, the autosomal sequence elements, present on the X chromosome and the autosomes respectively. The amount of gene doses produced by these elements determine the fate of the first master switch gene, that is the XOL1. ASE elements activate the transcription of XOL1, whereas XSE elements repress it. This is where the counting comes in. The two X chromosomes in hermaphrodites produce enough dosage of XSE elements to override the activation of XOL1 by ASE. Hence, the XOL1 gene is repressed in them. Coming to males, XSE dosage from a single X chromosome is insufficient to override the activation of XOL1 by ASE. Hence, the XOL1 gene is highly expressed, as you can see in the figure. Moving down the pathway, high XOL1 levels in males inhibits the expression of SDC2, the second master switch gene involved in this pathway. Low levels of SDC2 has two outcomes. The first is that the HER1 gene is not inhibited, which initiates the male sexual developmental plan. The other outcome is that the dosage compensation complex is not assembled, hence there is no dosage compensation activated in males. Coming to hermaphrodites, where the low levels of XOL1 gene is not able to inhibit the expression of SDC2 gene. These higher levels of SDC2 have two outcomes. First, the HER1 gene is inhibited, which initiates the hermaphrodite sexual developmental program. And the second is the dosage compensation complex is assembled, resulting in precise two-fold down regulation of both the X chromosomes. The following figure shows how the dosage compensation complex, the DCC, assembles in the double X hermaphrodite animals. It is recruited to the recognition elements and spreads along the both X chromosomes, reducing the expression of numerous X-linked genes by twofold. On the right hand side, we can see that it also binds to the upstream region of the autosomal gene HER1 and reduces its expression by 20-fold, resulting into hermaphrodite sexual developmental pathway. The second strategy we will discuss for the dosage composition is that of Drosophila. Drosophila males carry an X and a Y chromosome, and the females carry two X chromosomes. The strategy of dosage compensation in Drosophila is fundamentally different from that we discussed of for C. elegans. It was the first strategy for dosage compensation that was discovered in 1930s by Muller. Here the genes grouped on a single X chromosome of males experience a two-fold upregulation to balance it with the two chromosomes of females. The molecular pathway of dosage compensation is orchestrated by the difference in X to A ratio via a series of genes and their products. We will look at a more in detail mechanism in the next slide. The molecular pathway of dosage compensation in Drosophila. The X to A ratio in Drosophila controls both sex determination and dosage compensation by regulating a critical binary switch gene, the sex lethal gene or SXL. SXL encodes a female specific RNA binding protein that regulates splicing and translation of key mRNAs in the sex determination and the dosage compensation pathways. Sex lethal is encoded by the X chromosome and is positively regulated by transcription factors encoded by the X chromosome, such that the embryos with two X chromosomes are able to initiate SXL expression, whereas embryos with a single X per nucleus fail to express SXL. The key target of SXL in the dosage compensation pathway is the MSL2 mRNA as shown in the figure, in the blue color. SXL is normally present only in females as we described before, where it represses translation of the MSL2 mRNA through association with its untranslated region. Now the presence of MSL2 protein is a must to assemble MSL complexes on X chromosome and upregulate the group of genes on that chromosome. In males, as the SXL expression is inhibited due to the chromosome counting, MSL2 mRNA can be translated, resulting into MSL2 protein formation and MSL complex assembly, responsible for dosage compensation. So this is how the dosage compensation works in Drosophila. As it is evident from the figure, the SXL is also involved in sex-specific splicing of TRA, the transformer gene, which along with TRA2 governs the sex-specific developmental program for the Drosophila. Now, this sums up the dosage compensation mechanism as it is found in Drosophila. Now we move on to our final and third strategy of dosage compensation, that is in humans. The human female has two copies of a medium sized X chromosome, whereas the males have one X chromosome and one copy of a smaller gene poor Y chromosome. In males, the X chromosome is always inherited from the mother, whereas in females, one X is inherited from the father and one X is inherited from the mother. The mechanism of dosage compensation involves switching off of most genes on just one of the two X chromosomes so that there is only one active X chromosome in females as there is in males. This results into the equating of the gene dosage. This radical proposal, generally referred to as X inactivation, was first made in 1961 by Marie Leon in order to explain the patterns of expression of X-linked coat color genes in mice. The X chromosome inactivation is a highly regulated process determined by various genetic loci and epigenetic factors. The choice of inactivated chromosome is random, that is maternal or paternal, and it appears as a circular ball of chromatin during metaphase known as the Barr body. The molecular details of X chromosome inactivation are a part of a separate video which we will be releasing out soon. So, by this, we briefly sum up the dosage compensation in humans and the different strategies along with molecular pathways for dosage compensation in various organisms. Thank you for hearing me out. Meet you again in the next video.